Howdy, howdy, y'all. So, we are block sanding primer today. Spent the day yesterday doing the same thing. I got the tailgate nice and flattened out. And bolt the doors nice and straight. So today we're going to do the hood, these two fenders, and then prep for a reprime. The point of this stuff is when you're doing body work, you are fighting peaks and valleys, highs and low spots. So even though we've done a bunch of good work on these to get the metal all flattened out, this primer put a nice hard shell, like an eggshell, on the surface. But we sprayed liquid material on it. And the liquid material has a molecule size, just like any other material in the world. And no matter what you do, the molecules, when they lay down, have highs and low spots in between them. So this stuff kind of lays down in to the low spots, and then let's see if I can find a block with the right paper on it real quick. And when we take a block, come over here and find our spot that we know we had body work on, and we can start to do one of these. And it really starts to show us the rest of the highs and lows. So everywhere where the sanding block hits a high, everywhere where it didn't get sanded is a low. So we'll go through all these panels and block them all with various lengths and hardnesses and shapes of blocks. And then on the first pass, we've been talking about having to reprime and spot fill. So you'll go through on the first pass, and I've got some spots like this over here. Right here, there's a little low spot that wasn't going to quite block out with the primer. So we're going to put a line on it like that. And there's one here. The top of this door, and a lot of people miss this on restoration on these ones, the top of this door, it rolls this direction, but then right about here it's got a little ducktail that kind of ducktails up towards the trim. And if you have any dents or fill work in this area, it's really easy to lose that little, you know, it goes concave to convex, convex, concave, you know, so it's real hard. And so we got to use those weird round blocks. And then like this spot here was a dent in the low spot. So we've already kind of gone through here, which is our high spot, and then our low spot's right here. So we need to put a little spot putty there before we reprime everything. The door handles look really good. We got some pinhole action down here. This is the door that was in really bad shape. I think I'm happy with everything else. When we hang this door on the car, we'll see kind of what these corners look like in comparison to the quarter panel, but I think I'm in okay shape minus the pinholes that we got there. A little low spot, little low spot. In the primer here, there was a little low spot left over on the door handle, so I'm just going to see if I can block the rest of that out. But I broke through there and there and there, so I don't want to go too low on that. This stuff looks good up here. There was just a tiny little low spot left right here, so I'm just going to skiff it because I blocked this pretty hard, so I'm pretty sure this has got a little wobble to it, and then we'll re-stick all of this door. That'll be good. Tailgate came out a lot better than I thought it did. I put enough primer on it, so the whole surface is good. I don't have any pinholes or anything I'm really worried about up here. We'll stick it with 320 the last time just to make sure that, you know, like around these taillight areas, that looks real good. I do have there was a hard heavy hit right here on this corner, and I've got a weird little low spot right in here, so I'm going to spot putty this area right here before we reprime it. But anyway, that's kind of where we are, and then we'll block this fender, block that fender, block that hood, and my goal is to reprime these hopefully today. Tommy will be here in a little bit to help me knock this out. We'll reprime this stuff today, and then we'll wait for the last set of blocking, because I'm going to flip these over, rust encapsulate, rust encapsulate, rust encapsulate, rust encapsulate, and then prime. And no primer, no primer. And then this one will be primer in the door jamb, and this one's done underneath. So there's where we are in El Camino. As soon as I get the spray work done here, I think I've got most of the stuff in for the Camaro to start buttoning up on the engine. I don't have the radiator as of yet, so I won't be able to fire it, but I can hang the exhaust headers, start putting accessories on, the water pump, that kind of thing, and get this kind of, I don't know, 2/3 of the way there. We're about halfway right now. Suspension, the rear is pretty much dialed. I just need to scoot this one over just a scotch right there. I'm just inside flush here. I'm just outside flush here. So I got just a tiny little bit of movement on that Watts link, and the rear will be set. I'm happy with the ride height. That stuff's all happy. I need to get some more hardware to replace the factory hardware here because it was all scuzzy. So I'll do that, and then I can finish up the front suspension. Pull the steering gear, replace the tie rod ends in the steering rack, and start working on our fender flares in the front. Yeah, that's where that is. Buick, we're going to start, get my hand out of the way, we're going to start acid treating. I think we'll start on these front fenders, put those up, acid treat it, wrap it in plastic, and then let that sit for about an hour, 2 hours maybe, and we'll wash it, pull the hood off, do the same thing on the hood, and then as time permits, we'll start doing a panel at a time over here. Once the acid's all done doing its thing, then it'll be back on me to get in and get the last of the metal work done. So, Supra went back outside, you guys saw that, and we went over with the client, and we're solid and square on our parts and on our timeline and all that. So yeah, okay, I think that's all I got for you in the shop today. Phone's been ringing, and I got some more projects to share with you guys upcoming, but they're secret still, so stay tuned. Appreciate you guys. Trying to get my hand out here. I sent my GoPro with my kid. He's on vacation for his birthday, so this week you guys are going to get cell phone updates and cell phone pictures. You get what you get. Don't throw a fit. Appreciate you. Thanks for being here. You guys take care. It's hot in here, guys. Holy crap. Okay, so where are we now? We've got fender sanded, and we found some pinholes. Let me turn this fan off for a minute. How's that sound? Oh, okay, that's better. Well, we found some pinholes in passenger fender. No big deal. This one actually came out really nice. There's not really many waves or nothing like that I'm concerned with. The rest of this stuff will get taken care of on second round of primer. So that's good. Hood came out really nice. I'm glad we primed it and blocked it, because we do actually have to reprime it. I went through and stick blocked our body ridge, so we've got a nice sharp body ridge here. Blocked all our stuff out. Little wave left over here. Little wave left over here. Looks like the corners just were tucked down a little bit, and I want those to meet up with the corner of the fender here real nice. So I got a skiff coat on that. Here's our really bad fender. I got to put a little skiff coat down here. You'll notice a difference on these panels, the way they look now versus how they looked this morning. These are all of our high spots that have been sanded through now. And then the gray primer is what was low. And so this is, once you block sand, it kind of shows you the path. And this is the primer kind of doing its job, smoothing up every last little bit of wrinkle that we got. So we've got some extra wrinkle here. And then this is high, so it kind of goes down and then back up. So we're going to skiff coat this. We've got a little more here. So it was high and then low and then flat. So I'm gonna skiff this corner and then skiff this right here. Same kind of deal there. Top looks really good of this. Tailgate looks really, really good. I got a lot more out of it than I thought I was gonna be able to with the first round of primer. So the fascia is pretty much all good. And then I just got a little wow down here. I'm gonna spot putty here in a minute. The doors came out really good. A little low spot there, a little low spot there. And that's all for driver door. Oh no, I got a couple pinholes right here. And then passenger door, I got a little bit there. One little low spot there and a couple of pinholes. So we've got icing on three of the panels. We're gonna ice the rest of them here after lunch and then see if we can get this shit ready for primer again. Primer again, he says. All right, spot putty done. Fender number 1, ready for reprime. Fender number 2, just got to put some spot putty on some pinholes. Ready for prime number 2. Doors. It's really hot in here, so my Bondo keeps hardening before I can get it on the panel. So I stopped doing that, and I need to fill this and block sand this, skiff that, pinhole, good to go. I'll take care of both these doors in the morning, and then yeah, take care of these both in the morning, and then we'll be ready to prime these, prime this, prime this. Spot putty on the tailgate is all done and taken care of. Sorry, I'm pausing because I'm getting messages. That's you, Roger. Yeah, I'll get you in just a second. Anyway, this is all done. Primed, like I said before. I'm glad that we primed the whole panel because see how many highs and lows we found all up in the middle of it. So I'm glad we did that. Got the corner straightened out again with our spot putty. Corner straightened out with spot putty. Still masked, ready for primer. So prime this one in the morning, spot putty, primer, primer. Finish those 2 doors, prime it all. Oh, Lord. Blech. So we're very close on this El Camino. From here, once we get this last batch of primer done, I need to flip the parts over and finish rust encapsulating both the 2 doors, the front fenders and the tailgate, and then I'll be down to priming the door jambs and prepping those for paint. I'm gonna run over the house, knock the primer off of the body of the car. Hopefully it's in decent enough shape and we can just spot prime it. But we're just a handful of steps away here, guys, from being able to mask this thing up and get it ready to shoot. We got the colors all lined out. I've got my color codes. I know where I'm going to get my material from. My booth's ready to go. The car's already moved over. So I just, we spent 6-7 hours today probably just skiffing primer and looking for tiny pinholes and making sure their highs and lows are good and ready to go, and we're not going to find anything when it comes time to spray this thing come time for the booth. And we spent half hour 45 minutes just on a handful of pinholes just trying to make sure that they were ready. So this stuff takes time and it's really hard to show visual progress until you get it close to this point, and now we're really starting to shove the ball off the cliff. So just thank you guys for all your patience and commitment, and I hope you're enjoying what I'm showing you here. Trying to show you a little bit more throughout the day processes. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being here. Hope you guys have a good week. Take care.